Dude, so tired. Bruh.
Yeah, that's Blackbeard and Glass down.
Oh, it's there.
Today I'll be giving you the best advice for having more success while in solo queue for Rainbow Six Siege. I'll be giving you the 3 best tips I have for winning more games and climbing the ranks, all while doing it solo. Don't forget to like the video if you found it helpful, as this will allow others to find the video, and subscribe if you want more content like this. Make sure to watch to the end, as I do believe the last tip is one that'll make you instantly better whenever it comes to playing solo queue in Rainbow Six. Like you saw in the first clip there, you need to have a different mindset whenever it comes to solo queue. You need to be selfish, thinking of your own plan and action, and take action while you play solo. Having this shift in mindset kind of leads us into our first tip here, which is not relying on your team whenever it comes down to it. When you have to play solo, you have to play for yourself, and you have to make sure you have a plan of action every single round. You cannot rely on your team for the most basic task. They are not looking for the growth mindset that you are in, and I know this because you clicked this video. You are looking to get better while they're just playing for fun, which is totally fine. But the quicker you develop this mindset of being on your own, rather than using your team as a crutch, the quicker you'll see success in solo queue. You need to make sure that you're reinforcing those walls. You need to make sure that you're taking out those default cams. Those basic actions, droning out your own rooms and everything else, those things are the steps that you need to take in order to have success while playing solo. Do it all on your own and be pleasantly surprised whenever your teammates are ending up and helping you. Going through each round, having this mindset of you needing to do it by yourself, you having to drone out, take out those cams, or set up defenses, however you like, will let you grow as a player as a whole. So you'll know where to put things, what's the default, and what you need to have success on certain sites, and you can execute those plans. Now, I'm not saying that you need to make sure that your team doesn't do anything. Of course, whenever it comes down to it, like they can help you make holes in walls, or if you ping them to reinforce stuff, they'll a lot of times will end up doing it. Sometimes people just need a little bit of direction whenever it comes to this game. They're lost. However, you need to be that team leader, that player that takes the action but doesn't rely on them. That's the difference here. You need to make sure that you are taking the action and that your teammates are there to assist you, not the other way around. While this may seem selfish and seem counterintuitive to a lot of people, this doesn't mean that you're not a team player, that you can throw an impact or that you can reinforce certain walls if someone's already gotten yours. But going into each round knowing what you want your defensive setup to look like and how you're going to set yourself up for success in that round will let you win more rounds, thus letting you win more games and climb the ranks. The second tip here is to actually know your role. So many times do I see in solo queue where you'll have the thermite going for counter spawn peek, or be the first into a room, or you're a legion on defense going for a spawn peek. You need to know your role whenever it comes down to your attack and defenses. Because you'll be playing solo, you'll be playing against a lot of other solo players. Of course, there'll be the off situations where you are teamed up with 3 or 4 stacks and you don't get much communication. It happens to the best of us. You just have to move on and use the knowledge that they give you and the information that they give you and still look for success in that game. However, you need to use your knowledge of your operator as a way to push yourself or put yourself in an advantage or an advantageous position in order to take the round away from the enemies. If you're a Legion, or if you're someone who's a little bit more anchor, like an Echo or a Maestro, where you're using your cams or your drones, you need to make sure that you're able to sit on site and use that utility to help you and your team in the round. Too many times do I see, like I said, the Legion spawn peeking. They have the 2 Legions down, that's great, but then we get no more for the rest of the round. All that utility is gone. And being able to identify that role and adapt is going to allow you to win a lot more rounds. Whenever you notice that you're the thermite or that you needed a thermite or Hibana, don't be the entry fragger. Let your teammates get in there, get their hands dirty at first, or make sure that you drone yourself out accordingly. But make sure that you know what your role is for that round. So even if you're on a site where Thermite or Hibana wouldn't be necessarily useful, or they surprise you with the site, I'm sure there's still a wall that you can take down that will put pressure on the defense, whether you're there or not. So knowing that role and what you have to do is really important in solo queue. This really leads into the third and final tip,
that's
which is the
rough.
majority of this video. Like I said, this third tip is the one that's really going to push you to the next level and allow you to climb in solo queue. The third tip is know how to get carried. Now you're thinking to yourself, all right, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He told me at the beginning of the video, I have to do everything. Everything is my fault. I take the responsibility, which is perfect. That's exactly what you should be doing. But there's always going to be a game. It doesn't matter. And this is across any game that you play or anything in life. There's going to be off days. Whether you're playing a sport, whether you're playing Rainbow Six, or you're doing anything else, you're going to have off days, right? So you need to know that if you're having an off day, but you still want to play some Siege, that you can still climb. That just because that you're not able to land every single headshot, your aim's a little shaky, or your memory or your head's just a little foggy or something, you're still able to succeed. What I mean, in a little bit more detail, is going into each game, and if you see yourself lacking from your skills where you know you're at, your aim is super off, you just don't know what to do, you're caught in bad situations, take a step back and reevaluate your roles, reevaluate your operators. If you're not able to frag out like you normally do, if you're that person that's always top frag with 8+ kills, only dies a few times and is able to get into the site in the first 30 to minute, of the round, that's great. Stick to that. You'll see tons of success with that. But if you're having a day where you're not able to land those headshots and you're just going 0-3 or maybe you're going 1-4 or something, adapt. Know that this team has your number, right? This enemy team, for whatever reason, their setups, their communication, something's going on where they're able to counter you. So maybe if you're switching to a support role, or if you switch to a second entry fragger, or let someone else try their hands at it, and knowing how to play those other roles is vital to winning more games in ranked. I don't know how many times where you see 4 roamers on, knowing that you need another or an anchor, someone to sit on site, even if it's a site where roaming is effective, and then the other person will pick another roamer, and so it'll be more of a retaking of the site. Or on attack, whenever the most common one would be people not picking Thermite or Hibana whenever you need them, just because they don't want to play that. I'm not saying that you have to be submissive in every single regard. Like I said, you need to be selfish whenever you're playing solo queue. You need to take that time, develop your skills, develop your aim and your game sense, and then use all that knowledge to accelerate your team to a win. But if you're having those off days, if you're having those days where you're just not feeling it, or you want to try something new, give the game something fresh, playing those support roles, and I keep using this as an example because a lot of people would rather be the entry fraggers and be the one-trick Ashe and Jaeger mains and stuff like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that just because you're not that person that you can't get platinum or diamond or gold, whatever your rank is. But being able to play those roles and play them effectively, use that advantage for your team to push you into, or put your team in an advantageous position. So you putting pressure on the defense allows them to makes them make mistakes, which your team or you can capitalize on. And you can put pressure on them in a number of ways. That can be being in the site in 30 seconds. That can be using Buck and just blowing holes above the site, or opening hatches to put pressure on them, or even being a Twitch and destroying all their devices. There's so many different ways that you can gather intel and counter the enemies by not just playing the entry frag. And once you know that, once you identify that, you'll have a ton more success in solo queue. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've had an off day. I just can't do my aim. And then I switch to that Thatcher role. I switch to playing Rook or someone else where I'm still comfortable because I'm someone who likes playing Doc and some of those aggressive peekers on defense. But if I can't get those peeks, or if I'm not getting those frags, but I still want to keep the ACOG, I'll play Rook. Everyone else gets some armor. They have the potential to get picked up if they need to be. Or I'll pick Echo, where even if I die early, my drones are still providing intel that are really hard to locate, right? So using those things and coming up with those different strategies is important in solo queue. But this all comes down to you. And this ties back to my other 2 tips and what I said at the beginning. Playing solo queue is all about a mindset. You need to shift your mindset for solo queue. You need to shift it back whenever you're not. And that, all in all, is how you get better at solo queue. How you're able to climb the ranks, and how you're able to see so much more success whenever you're playing by yourself. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below if you found these tips helpful, or go ahead and comment some of your own solo queue tips. If you made it this far, don't forget to like the video, as that will help other people find this video, and subscribe if you're looking for more content like this. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.